Hello everyone, I'm José Vega-Cebrián, and I'm here on behalf of my team to present our paper, Design Resources in Movement-Based Design Methods, a Practice-Based Characterization. In this paper, we characterize movement-based design methods in interaction design, based on a thematic analysis of their use in several projects. We describe the 5 groups of categories we found, which are design resources, activities, delivery, framing, and context, and we focus on design resources, which contains movement, space, and objects. During this presentation, I'll walk you through the following sections: the context and aim of our project, background in movement-based design methods and their classifications, the methodology we followed, an overview of our findings, 3 examples of aspects that we share and discuss in the paper, and some of our conclusions. Movement-based design methods have increasingly been adopted in several domains due to their capacity for providing early insights into the embodied experience of participating stakeholders. They can be used in multiple phases of a design project, ranging from sensitizing exercises to evaluation. However, while some methods are known and documented, these are not always well suited for the specific characteristics of a design project. Hence, designers must often adapt or create them ad hoc. Our aim: to guide designers in selecting, adapting, or creating their methods, we work towards a comprehensive characterization of movement-based design methods. The goal was to identify salient characteristics of the methods that influence their applicability in different contexts. For this purpose, we were interested in collecting and analyzing methods that design researchers use in a specific context. Some of these were adapted from previously known methods, and some others were created from scratch. Background. In the paper, we describe several movement-based design methods and strategies that are relevant to the trajectory of movement-based design research in human-computer interaction, and that are important in the practice of the authors of the paper. In the interest of time, I will only mention them here: body storming, sensory body storming, performative prototyping, somatic connoisseurship, soma design, embodied sketching, estrangement, role-playing, informances, LARPing, and service walkthrough and interaction relabeling. Additionally, we discussed previous work related to the typography of movement-based design methods. For instance, Andersen et al. Analyzed 23 methods in 7 articles and constructed a typology of 7 sub-mediums for movement-based design methods. Simultaneously, they classified the methods regarding the design stage in which they were used. Wild et al. Proposed and used a framework to analyze embodied design ideation methods with a focus on estrangement. Locke and Robertson focused on the first-person perspective of a person in movement, and from there proposed a methodology based on a set of choreographic tools. In contrast to these works, we followed a bottom-up approach to map the characteristics of a larger corpus of movement-based design methods. We aimed to obtain a set of general and non-exclusive categories that would allow describing elements in play before and during the implementation of these methods in practice. Additionally, in the paper, we make some of these categories actionable by providing recommendations and considerations for the reader. Our methodology. Through a series of workshops, we analyzed a total of 41 key movement-based design methods used in 12 interaction design projects. All of these were facilitated by the authors, who are members of an international movement-based design consortium working together in the Method Cards for Movement-Based Interaction Design project, MechaMind, supported by Erasmus+. The full table of projects and methods can be found in the paper. I'm showing on the screen some photos of these projects that illustrate their design processes, prototypes, or interactive outputs. These projects included interactive experiences for children, wearable technology to support sports and fitness practices through sensory feedback, virtual reality or mixed reality games or learning experiences, and the design of interactive outdoor fitness and play equipment. The authors of each project reported relevant data for each of the methods they used. Then, 4 of us individually characterized the methods using sticky notes and then went through a thematic analysis using a bottom-up approach to find emerging categories. I'm showing on the screen photos of this process, starting from around 1000 sticky notes on the floor to several groups and subgroups of them. After several rounds of analysis, we obtained 17 categories that encompassed the significant characteristics of our corpus and arranged them into 5 main groups: design resources, activities, delivery, framing, and context. I'm showing on the screen the diagram that works as an overview of the groups, categories, and subcategories we found. Each group consists of a big circle with its title, accompanied by smaller circles with the title of its categories. For instance, at the top, we have the design resources group with the movement, space, and object categories. This group is the focus of the paper. Then we have the activities group that contains the categories of design phase, methods, crafting, sensorial explorations, and acting out. To the right, we have the delivery group containing facilitation, planning and logistics, and documentation. Next, we have the framing group containing play and perspectives. And finally, we have the context group containing the categories of starting point, goals, challenges, and outcomes. Additionally, some circles corresponding to categories are surrounded by smaller keywords. These are their subcategories. In section 4 of our paper, Categories and Groups, we describe what each of these subcategories and subcategories refers to, based on the methods they originated from. It is worth noting that the categories and subcategories emerge from the descriptions and characteristics of multiple methods. Simultaneously, methods are reflected across several categories and subcategories. In the paper, we devote our focus to the design resources group, its categories and subcategories. I'm showing on the screen the subsection of the diagram that corresponds to this group. The movement category contains the subcategories of qualities, body regions, contact, moving with objects, constraints and superpowers, instrumental domain, and engagement. Then, the space category includes physical, virtual, and hybrid spaces, delimitation, and room size. Finally, the objects category contains physical objects, cards, technologies, affordances, and subversion. In the paper, we describe each of these categories and subcategories in detail, including relevant examples from the projects and methods that originated them. Additionally, we accompany the subcategories with a series of action points and recommendations to bring them into practice. Here, I'll proceed to describe 3 examples of insights and recommendations that we provide in the paper: the body storming basket, focus on design goals, and reflections on levels of engagement. The body storming basket. Throughout our corpus of projects, we observed very deliberate decisions regarding what kinds of elements to bring to use during the methods that involved physical objects. Objects were chosen for a given method due to their tactile or other sensory properties, shape and size, similarity to other objects, composability, interactive capabilities, evocative properties, and affordances. In most cases, the objects that were used were common crafting materials and everyday objects, such as the ones I'm showing on the screen: cardboard boxes, tape, sticks, balls, toys, lights, dolls, hand puppets, children's musical instruments, and more. Crafting materials were essential to transform and resignify other kinds of objects. One of our recommendations, based on the physical object subcategory, is that design researchers who want to start working with movement-based design methods could start collecting and curating a body storming basket of simple and diverse objects like those just mentioned and shown. According to insights in the technology subcategories, we recommend either using physical objects to simulate digital technologies or adding simple electronic gadgets like toys or for humans or pets that can help think about the interactivity and feedback of technology. Finally, from the subcategory of affordances, we emphasize thinking about the affordances that each of these objects in the body storming basket can support. Focus on design goals. An insight that we put forward based on the movement qualities and contact subcategories is that even though aspects related to moving bodies in space, such as body orientations, proxemics, movement qualities, or physical contact, are common and present daily, they are not frequently on focus. Based on our analysis, we argue that they need to be explicitly brought to the forefront of design activities if they are meant to be used as design resources. This recommendation from movement qualities and contact is connected to the facilitation and planning and logistics categories of the delivery group. Levels of engagement. Finally, other example connected to the facilitation and planning and logistics categories, as well as the play category and warm-up subcategory, is the following, based upon our findings in engagement and physical contact in the movement category. Engagement with movement, others, objects, and space is essential in movement-based design activities and should be at the core of the design and facilitation of these activities. However, we recommend that expectations regarding engagement in movement-based activities should be tailored to the people who are participating, based on their previous experiences and physical abilities. It is important to plan ahead and manage the group's engagement by alternating between activities with different energy levels. Rest and recuperation are as important as high-energy activities. Furthermore, we invite you to consider and explicitly address the risks of physical injury that could arise from involvement in activities. Additionally, an important facilitation task is to make sure one enables a safe space based on trust and consent to explore movement or physical contact at the level that is appropriate for each participant. A good way of doing this might be through warm-up activities and games. Conclusion. We developed an empirically based characterization of design resources as employed in movement-based design methods. The relevance of this work is in its focus on developing design resources in movement-based design methods with illustrative examples and action points that can be of interest to the reader. We contend that it is novice designers looking to get started with movement-based design methods, the ones who might benefit the most from our contributions. We acknowledge that this work is not enough to overcome the barrier of engaging hands-on and first-person with movement in interaction design. However, we intend that this map of considerations helps to clear up the space, so that what is left is mostly to start moving and experimenting. The seasoned designer will identify that the action points are not groundbreaking, and rather they encapsulate and articulate existing tacit knowledge and of embodied design. However, we also believe that seasoned designers can find utility in our work by using our categories as a live palette of possibilities that can inspire them, and as a document to help them argue for or against particular design choices. Thank you very much.